Are we rolling? Are we killing it? Welcome to our new set. It's really great to have you here.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
This is our live studio audience.
Cool.
Okay, I don't even know where to start because you've been on the show for like so long.
Yeah.
What season did you start? 12? 11?
I mean, I was on 11 for like a block. Like I maybe filmed a week, and I was 14. Then
That's nuts.
I know, and then I came back on season 12. It was like my first season. I've been here 5 years.
You've been here 5 years.
Yeah, but I watched it not too long ago, and you can tell like that was my real like puberty stage from 14 to 15, because that summer that I filmed, and then it cuts to like the new season when I was 15, I look so different. Well, not so different, but my voice is lower. My voice is so high when I was 14. I turned 15, my voice like dropped.
I don't know, I can't picture you changing a lot, but maybe that's because I don't really remember you in like 11. Like I see you like in 12. Like all over the place.
Disgusting.
Dude, you don't even know, I'm with you. See this building? Like my face is all over the place, and the scary
That it is.
The scary thing, it's like, it's good and it's scary. It's good because it's like, oh, it's nice to have a virtual yearbook, you know? And then it's also terrifying because it's like everyone else is seeing it too. And you're just like, but you know what? I've stuck by them all. Everyone still, even in this building, rips on the hairstyles I had, rips on the outfits that I wear. I've got a couple laughs happening over here, but you know, absolutely no regrets. Okay, I'm sticking to it.
Regrets.
I did cornrows and I'm standing by it. What will you look back on the most as the thing that you're like, I'm going to miss that the most? That was like my fave.
Oh my God, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's weird because it's like the whole thing happened at the same time my whole high school career happened. So it was kind of nice to never have to go to school. And now it's like I'm going to graduate high school and I'm graduating Degrassi at the same time.
Yeah.
I feel like there will be a time, like in a few years, where I'll look back and be like, oh, like all those memories.
Yeah.
But right now I'm so immersed in it that I'm like,
Totally.
I'm ready sort of to move on. And so I'm not feeling that like sadness or that like
nostalgia
that I might feel in a few years or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now I'm just very ready.
Yeah. Do you feel like this is a good time to like?
Yeah,
Do you feel like you feel like you have closure? It's completed.
Yeah, in a positive way. I feel like it's completed. I'm happy with it, and I'm ready to move on.
Move on.
But I definitely like the older cast at the beginning was really the people I was closest to. I think like Chloe, like playing my sister, and then Mindy was really good friends with Lyle, and so I started to become really close with Mindy and hung out with Luke a lot, and I'm still really close with Mindy and Alex and Lyle. So yeah, I mean, they're like all my best friends, and I met them all here, so just the friendships, I guess.
How was Chloe coming back? Were you like, girl?
Yeah, it was really cool. It's just like old time. Yeah, it was like falling back into it the way, because we always had it was all the scenes with us before were just me and her, and it was the same way. So. And
the crazy thing is, like, you have seriously dramatic scenes with Chloe. Like,
yeah,
all
always.
All of a sudden, it's just like boom. Tell me about Maya's journey in these last couple seasons.
I think like it's a mix of obviously probably a pre-existing thing maybe that could have already been inside her. Also, all the stuff that happened to her in every season of Degrassi. I mean, her boyfriend kills himself, and
I guess freaks out about Myles.
or
something.
Yeah, you can tell she already has like anxiety, and anxiety is one of the big things with depression. So, yeah, I think it was just nature and nurture. I think both of them just.
How did you feel about playing that arc where you just like, oh, Maya, cheer up, I want to do something fun? Or did you like it as a challenge?
I loved it. I find I'm more drawn to darker roles, or the darker essences of characters anyways. Like, I just find it easier to slip into that.
Here's my question with that. Like, I think a suicide scene is one of those things, because like we had talked about before, and like the last time we like hung out was, you know, it takes going in, like when you go into a character, it takes a while to kind of get out of it, because like especially in something that's as insane as what was happening to Maya this year. What was it like on that rooftop, the crew's all in front of you, and you're like, hold on a sec, guys, I just need to like go into the darkest part of a human soul?
Yeah, well, I mean, with that scene, it was mostly the one part I wasn't even thinking about that, because I was just I was like kind of scared because it was nighttime and I was like harnessed and they wanted me to actually like lean over the edge of the roof, and it was really high. And
that's kind of terrifying.
No, it was terrifying. I was think I was playing it really well, but I was like inside I was actually like, I never thought I was afraid of heights before, but like this is scary. And then on the rooftop, at least, all I had to do was sort of be like foaming at the mouth and have my eyes like open. And they were like, and you can't breathe. Like at one point they were like, we can see you breathing, so stop breathing.
Is this when you're like found?
Yeah.
Found?
And I was actually, I don't know, it was really surreal to be playing that. I felt like very immersed in it. But they like cut the scene like halfway through. I didn't even get through the whole scene. And they were like, I was like, why? And they're like, it's too dark, it's too much and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I was mad.
Here's the one thing about the Maya storyline that, like, I gotta be honest, I don't know if I understood. This, like, recreation of death.
Yeah.
Like, as performance. Like, I thought it was very cool.
I thought it was cool. I wish they had gone into it more. I wish they delved into it a bit more. It was very short-lived.
Because she does a photo on the bus, and then she does a photo on the stairwell.
And then she does one in the hospital bed, too.
Oh, yeah, beside Tristan?
Yeah.
Like, that was real.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
When I read that, I was like, what the? I guess I just wasn't sure if I understood, like, is this, like, I don't know, how did you make sense of her reason to do this?
I'm trying to word it. Like, trying to see death in a beautiful way, and seeing it as a peaceful way, and instead of because what she sees is like, oh, I'm the one still here watching all this chaos and having to deal with it. Tristan's so lucky that he doesn't have to deal with it. He's out cold.
Yeah.
You know, that's how
It was like taken care of for him
yeah,
in a way.
He's peaceful.
Yeah. I really thought it was a cool way to look at, like, this depression that Maya was experiencing. Because depression's been so much of Degrassi. It's like, what other perspective can you take? Like, I didn't see that coming.
I didn't even realize how much, like, I was so into it until now. I have to be all happy and, like, well, not happy, but trying to get better, and it's just so boring to play that after going from, it was just such a whirlwind. I don't want it to end yet. I mean, I'm happy the character is okay and stuff, but, you know, yeah, I just don't want it to end. I don't know, it's fun to play as an actress.
Yeah, you were saying that as, like, I walked in, too. I was like, what are you shooting today? I was like, oh, Maya's happy.
Oh, Maya's, like, figuring out her life. It's boring. But I think my favorite, like, time acting and really, like, giving it was either with Lyle or there was a scene I did with Eric where we were running, like, low on time, and me and Eric Stefan said we could rehearse the scene on our own. It was a court scene when I find out that he had been with some other girl. Well, Zoe was unconscious or something, or he had been with Zoe, or I don't even know why, but I remember I run out of the room and he grabs me and we're fighting, and we were practicing it in the hallway, and it was like, it just felt so real. And then we went down to do it, and Stefan was like, oh, it's too intense, like, you guys need to tone it down or something. But it was just like, I'll always remember it because I just thought it was like the best.
Did you feel like you related to Maya's relationship to music? Because I feel like Maya had, like, relationships to music that was, like, positive and, like, negative. Like, it's like, it helped bring her out of, like, her depressive, like, feelings, but at the same time, it also stirred a lot of.
Yeah, I don't know. It's good. When Maya started singing on the show, I, like, liked singing, but I never really.
Yeah, how did that come to be? Like, were you singing before Maya? Like,
I mean, I've always sang. My whole family is very musical. Like, we all know how to play instruments and sing together and stuff. So I've always sang all my life, but and I went to an art school, like, all my life. So a lot of music happening, but I never really thought about it as, like, anything more than just fun. So when I had to sing for Maya, I was like, oh yeah, sure. So it was kind of weird when I started singing more on the show and then started singing more in real life with Lyle and doing that.
Yeah. Is there a favorite of Maya songs that you have?
I guess okay, what's yours?
Guess mine, but you say yours first.
I guess, like, maybe the black or white one is pretty. It's fun to sing.
Is that the one that she sings for the record producer in New York?
I think so, yeah. It's the one with Jonah.
I like that one.
Yeah, and Aaron has a really beautiful voice, so it's fun to sing with him.
Yeah, Aaron does music. I feel like the whole cast is musical.
I know, and it's like we didn't really even think about it. Like,
we should have done, like, a musical episode now that it's too late, because my whole cast was not, well, I was a musical. Actually, most of us were musical.
I used to want to do a musical episode. I used to always tell everyone would listen. I was like, oh, like Buffy, like Wentworth Feeling, like can we do a musical episode?
That'd be so sick.
Yeah.
I think they've humored it throughout the years. Actually, I heard like
up.
Stefan being like, "We'll do a musical."
Yeah, he
like
just
I feel like
fueled
he's so
my hope for that to happen.
Let's talk about Maya's next classmans.
Okay.
That's who I want to talk about. Like Zig.
Yeah, that's it.
Is it just Zig?
Next class. Someone.
You had on and off with just Zig.
Wait, I think so. Yeah, that's it. Am I forgetting something?
Did you do anything with Jonah?
No.
Did Maya do anything with Jonah?
No, Zig thought I did, but I didn't.
Okay, so you know what? Zig is enough of a man to fulfill our conversation here, but so you guys start off all like real good. Maya takes Zig back, you guys get, like, Maya and Zig get back together at the end of 4.
No, she doesn't take him back. She takes him back as sort of a friend for the prom, and I think, like, she knows there are feelings there, but it's not like anything's getting pushed, really. I think
she likes him.
I think she likes him, and I think he likes her, and it's also just a very natural, easy thing to fall back into, and I think it's just, like, they're not gonna push for anything because they both know, like, there's a lot going on right now, but definitely it's like it ends with a lingering of that's probably gonna happen. That's what I took from it.
I think Zig's got a hold on Maya. What's the Zig thing that everybody's just like, oh, it's Zig?
What?
Oh, it's Zig. All the girls love Zig, and
I know. Well, he's a pretty sexy man.
Okay, Zig did like made out with Zoe on camera, right?
Yeah.
That's why you guys break up.
Yeah.
Because you're in New York
he cheats on me.
Yeah. He cheats on you, and yet Maya's all like, oh, thanks for helping me write a song.
Yeah.
Let's go to prom. What is it? What's the draw?
With Zig, I think it's like true high school love, as much as it can be called true love. I think it is. That's probably just what it is. You know, they found each other. They're friends since grade 9. It's like once you find that person, I think, like, no matter what, you can break up or whatever, but if there's a chance you can be together again, you're probably immediately gonna go back to each other.
And also, everybody wants a prom date.
Yeah, and I liked what happened. Like, I liked how Maya asked Zig.
Yeah,
I like that too. Right now, Maya asks Zig. He doesn't ask her, and it's very cool. And yeah, it just happens very casually and natural. But I find prom is very much like very like friend oriented now. It's not like a big deal, at least in my high school and stuff. Prom wasn't like a big like, oh my god, like is he gonna ask me to prom? Like it was very much like, you know, I just want to find like that good guy to go to prom with and have a good time and see what happens. And so I like how that's kind of what's happening with Maya and Zig. It seems real.
And I like Maya bouncing back from all of this stuff. It's like she's on a mission. She's like writing this song. She wants to impress Greg Manning. And then she's just like, I need a day for my prom. I need a day for my prom.
Yeah.
Like she's on a mission. I want to have one question. Is there something hilarious that has happened on set that like goes down as like one of the funniest,
oh my gosh,
the funniest moments in Degrassi?
Funniest moments in Degrassi. I feel like they're inside jokes that's like we laugh at, but no one would understand. Like I remember Ghana. Like Ghana, no one talks about Ghana.
Like
like you know how everyone went to like Nicaragua, like we went to Ghana too.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a character. I was like, who the hell is Ghana?
No, like Ghana, like the Free the Children trip.
Oh, you went to Ghana?
Yes, but no one knows about it because it's like this weird.
So mad.
I know because like
talks about Ghana.
Because oh, yeah. No, I just feel like Ghana's like that one Free the Children trip that no one talks about. Why are you guys still laughing? It wasn't that funny.
Because it's true. I've never heard Ghana brought up.
No, right? It's like the one trip that no one talks about. Like, barely anyone went on it.
Was it fun?
I mean, there's
so many people went on it. There were like 16 people.
Okay, well, but everyone agrees, right, that it was like the trip that like no one talks about.
But why?
I don't know. It's just that
was
weird...
it boring? Did you have fun? Did you help the kids?
Yeah, but it just weirds me out how it's that one trip that like no one brings it up. No one even knows I went on one of the trips. It was the time where like me and Mindy met and got really close. Like we didn't leave our room for a whole night once because like there was a bug in the room, and so we pulled like the sheets over us and just stayed there the whole night.
That's a lovely bonding
calling out
experience.
the window for someone to help us.
Was there any camera like footage? Like was anyone following you guys around?
Yes, I think, and I don't know where it is.
Like did MTV like do a special?
It was like an annulled marriage. Like no one knows about Ghana. It's so weird. But yeah. a lot of like stuff happened on the trip. Like we all thought it was haunted because like the lights went out once and like we were all playing cards and like one of the cards was missing and like it was this big thing and it was like Sam and Jacob and Monroe were like hiding the cards in the end. It was like you wouldn't laugh at it, but it was so funny.
So we have a game and it's called Prom, Boiler, Slap. So who you want to take to prom? Out of all the characters of Degrassi, who you want to take to prom? Who you want to hook up with in the boiler room?
In the boiler room.
And who you just want to teen girl movie biatch slap?
Okay, cool. Give it to me.
No. Oh yes, the options. Sorry, I forgot.
No.
I was like, no. Screw this game.
Thank you.
Okay, no, you can't look at both of them. So okay, the first round of Prom, Boiler, and Slap. Zig, Myles,
oh, like
Jonah.
they're people.
Yeah.
Here.
Like, this is
okay,
you as
Myles,
Olivia.
take to prom. Jonah, boiler room. And then Zig, slap.
Slap. That's good. You know why you've made the right choice?
Why?
Myles, take to prom. He's got a nice car. He's going to get you nice things.
Plus, he's going to make it exciting. Something's going to happen with
True.
Myles.
Remember the first time Maya meets Myles, she gets stoned with him?
I saw that the other day, and I was like, it actually brought back memories.
Yeah.
I think that was one of my favorite times of all the years.
Really?
Was that Paris time. I was like 16. I was just loving life. I think it was summer, and I was really close with all the cast at that point. It was just really nice.
Round 2, Prom, Boiler, Slap. Tristan, Grace, Zoe.
Prom, boiler, slap. Okay. I feel like Grace to prom.
That's nice.
And now it gets hard. Like, or do I want to bring Tristan to prom? Wait, okay, this one's hard. Okay, so Grace is like best friend. Zoe's like frenemy, but Anna's pretty hot. And then Lyle's pretty hot, but he's sort of best friend too. That's really hard. It's two best friends and a frenemy.
Someone's got to go to prom. Someone you got to hook up with in the boiler room, and somebody you got to give a good old flash. And I just had a seizure.
A slap?
A good old fashioned slap.
I don't know. I can't
like,
do this
good
one.
Old, good old.
Okay, I'm gonna say Anna or Zoe. Zoe, boiler room.
Okay, hot.
Tristan. Okay, like Grace didn't do anything wrong, but she is kind of not on my side sometimes. So I'm gonna say Grace slap and Tristan prom.
You just slapped Grace.
I can
this
slap.
could be her last day
Tristan
on Earth.
Yeah, well, Tristan's in like a coma, right? Yeah, I'm like slapping him out of it, waking him up.
Okay, do you have one for me?
Mr. Yates. The girl who also his name was Maya, Nina Dobrev. Her name.
So Mr. Yates.
Mr.
Yates, Maya. Or no, Mia.
It was Mia, right?
Yeah.
And and Manny.
Manny Santos.
Yeah, Manny.
Oh God. I mean, you picked all smoking hot people.
I know, obviously.
I mean, I want all of them in the boiler room, but not sure there's enough room. Okay, I bring Mia to prom because she was just like a sweet, good girl, and I feel like we'd have a lovely evening, you know, and like she's a lot of fun. I feel like we can go for like some, you know, Chinese food after.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Just like get a babysitter for a kid.
Yeah, that's fine.
Gonna say that
I got, you know, I'm old now. A lot of my friends would be happy to babysit. Yeah, I think I'd.
You gotta.
Yeah, no, I think I'd bring Mr. Yates to the boiler room.
Oh, I was gonna be like, you know, you have to slap him.
I'm gonna bring Mr. Yates to the boiler room. I'm old enough to be dating him, and maybe I'm a student teacher, he's a student teacher.
There you go.
Together, you know, we found love in a hopeless
I never thought
place.
about that one.
Yeah. And I would slap Manny, which would be
She
mean because
deserves
she's
a bit
a
of a
young
slapping.
girl.
But it is Manny.
Yeah, I would totally slap Manny. I think Manny needs to wake up. I think we killed it.
Killed it.
Killed it. Thanks for hanging out. I can't believe this is the end of an era.
It's the end.
I'm very sad.
And
I feel
don't
sad.
forget me.
Never.
Don't forget me.
Council Prez. Oh, great. Oh, yes. I'm a bus cut. I have actually genuine questions about that. Okay, thanks for hanging out. You're in between scenes right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
In the final.
I just came in for one scene today. It's my second last scene ever.
And how do you feel?
Second
last scene. So.
Yeah. Well, I feel like ready. Like I feel like I've prepared myself.
Yeah.
So it's not. Yeah.
And it's not like you were on the show for like a second.
No, exactly. That's what I mean. Like I've been on since I was 16. I'm gonna be 22 this year. So I've spent like the later part of my teens on the show. So
that's insane.
Yeah.
So wait, you came in 11?
Season 11 and a half. I came in as a grade 8 technically. Because I did like a little orientation scene with
yes.
Luke and Alicia.
And that's when like Alicia's what was her character name? Oh, I'm
Bianca.
Bianca was all like, I'm gonna beat the crap out of you and shove you in a locker or something if you don't shut up.
Yeah. I love Alicia.
Alicia. She's so lovely.
Yeah.
I just love a hard bitch. That's why I loved
Yeah.
Bianca.
Yeah.
Tristan. I mean, it's just so much happened. Like he started this little band, geek. Well, how would you define Tristan's character? Like when you started playing him, like did you really know what he was gonna be?
Not really. I mean, like all I knew was that I wanted to be on Degrassi from like age like 12, 13 maybe. Like I saw it on TV one day, a rerun, and I was like, oh my gosh, this show is so cool, and like I really wanted to be on it, and like knew it filmed in Toronto, and that was like the goal for like Toronto actors. Like,
so how old were you when you auditioned? Like, did you just audition once? Because I find that like all the cast members audition like 17 times.
No, I auditioned for one other character before, and it was probably like, I feel like 8 months before I auditioned for Tristan. And actually at that time in my life, I was like co-oping at a vet's office for my school. And right before I auditioned for Degrassi, I didn't get it. And I was like, oh, like, cause I really wanted it. But then Stefan told me later that they had saw me and they knew I wasn't right for the part, but that they could see me playing something else on the show. And he said that they kind of thought of Tristan after like seeing me audition, which was really cool.
It's funny, I have kind of a similar story. I auditioned for Craig.
Really?
Krista, that was rude. That was like, that's stupid, look.
You're a heartthrob too.
So I wasn't the heartthrob that they had in mind.
Yeah.
But you know what? I bounced back. No, but I was just like this little young, effeminate, terrified kid when I came into audition, like I think when I was 14 and then back at 15. And they said that like they knew, Linda Schuyler knew that she wanted to have a gay character. And I think they just kind of kept my photo posted on the wall being like, this, once we get there, this could be the kid. I would tell Marco to, you know, give the endorsement to Tristan as like,
oh really?
Either gay, for sure, because I think Tristan's character, we grew up with him for so many years. And I think other than Marco, Tristan was the longest queer character run on this show.
Yeah, and he just came in like out and loud. And
yeah, and that's what I love about it. A different journey. Like Marco had to figure it all out.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that? Is it like a generational thing?
My favorite part, and I've said this to people before, is that Tristan came on and there was no issue or explanation, because it's true. We had Marco, who that's a very real thing. Yeah. Right?
And that was like 2002.
Totally. Yeah. So it's totally like relevant to the time and stuff. And I think when Tristan came on, it was just cool that there was no explanation. It's like, here he is. And
this is who he is.
Yeah, and just like it was never really talked about, and that was my favorite part. I really like that. It's very like normalizing.
Yeah, that's what captivated me.
And then it's like it got to focus on, I find, a lot of cool storylines that I wanted to do like later on too. That like, you know, just with the teacher
student
and
teachers. You know how jealous I was of that storyline.
Yeah,
I am jealous because Marco was all like, I'm in love with one person. Boring.
No, that storyline was like, it was really cool because the thing is, though, I had to wait for it. I'd been on the show like the longest of the new Niners, but didn't have an A plot, and I really wanted an A plot. Like I didn't know what it would be. I just wanted an A plot so bad, and so the wait was worth it. It was like the read through before that. I've got to say this just because they did it to me. They had me on my knees braying like a donkey for like this Hamlet.
Sorry.
No, the block.
What part?
The block before, like the episodes before the teacher storyline.
Yeah. What were they?
I had some C plot where I was like in, I think this play Hamlet or Macbeth. I think Hamlet maybe. I don't know. There's some part where I'm like wearing a donkey mask and I'm like playing in a play and I have this like fat suit on and I'm wearing a donkey mask. I literally get on my hands and knees and bray like a donkey. after I finished
like,
in that I finished in that read through, Stefan came up to me. He's like, "So what'd you think of that?" He thought it was the next read through. He wasn't in that one. He's like, "So what'd you think of like that read through? It's pretty big stuff, eh?" I was like,
"You thought he was just being an ass?"
Like I was like, I looked at him. I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then he was like, "Oh, no, I'm thinking of the next one. Yeah, the next one's good." I'm like, "Sure, Stefan, sure."
So you thought he was just being like facetious, like, "Don't patronize me."
Well, yeah, no, I thought like he had in his head that this was some like funny, great storyline, and I was like, "No, I thought this was my A plot." But then the next read through, I waited it out, and it was like Tristan was there on the first page, and then I was like, finally. And then it was better than I expected. I would have never guessed it was like a teacher.
I think it was a great storyline. Yeah. And I think my favorite scene that has ever come from Tristan has to be his blowout with Maya.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. Oh, God, did I love it.
Just fueled your fire.
Oh, I was just like, yeah. Well, because I want to say I agree with Tristan. I just think that Maya needed to be... I agree that he laced into Maya. You know, is an inappropriate relationship with a teacher acceptable? No, and it should have ended. But I do get where Tristan was coming from, where he's just like, you know, you're just like this perfect girl.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like Tristan had, like, someone threw him a cookie, like a crumb.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, yes, it was inappropriate and maybe that shouldn't happen. But like, I felt at the time, I think that in like my own head was like, oh, this is just going to be so fun and cool and like, and all like, so I wasn't thinking in my head ever. I wasn't like, this is like inappropriate. Like, I don't know about this. Like, should Tristan? I was like, oh no, this is fun and cool. Like, I totally get why he's doing it. Yeah. So like that added to kind of the innocence of
Tristan was thinking the same. And then Maya was all like, I know better than everybody.
Yeah.
So you should have kept your stupid mouth shut.
Well, and then it's like, Maya, like, you're a wreck too.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
So true. I wish that was like the director's cut. It's Maya, you're a wreck too.
Maya, you're a wreck. But I really, why I wanted to be on Degrassi was because I liked the drama aspect of it. I really liked how it was like, everyone was kind of a wreck and everyone was doing like no one was just like normal, like nothing happened, like everyone eventually something happens to them and they're like, that's what I liked about it.
Things happen on this show that has happened one place. Like every issue has happened somewhere across the globe, but the fact that all of these issues
all happens at
in
this one school, like so that's nuts. Why it's so crazy.
I know, it's so true. It's so nuts. Another thing I was very jealous about Tristan is his romance with Myles. I think it's just a true delight.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep ripping on Marco, and Marco had a nice little romance, but it was, I don't know, like the relationship between Tristan and Myles was so exciting.
Yeah, it was.
It was just so like from like that, like them in the middle of that hurricane being like having the little teen movie kiss and then like dating this guy who now is sexually open.
Yeah.
And like that student council, like the eroticism that happens between the student council competition is like so rock and roll.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like, tell me about Trials or Miston.
Miston. That sounds.
All right, try. That sounds like a small town in Ontario.
Krista's like shaking her head no right now. Yeah, I thought that it was very natural, and again, something that was kind of like, it was very normalized. Like Myles wasn't like, Tristan, I think I'm having feelings for you. Like it was just all like, from Paris was the first time they had like, he just came on the show and like Tristan kisses him and he just kind of like doesn't really do anything. So like I don't think either of us knew, unless they had told him something, that they were actually gonna make it like a full-blown like later on like relationship and stuff. So we were really surprised when that Thunderstruck episode, I think it was called, because we were in the thunderstorm.
Like if this was a rom-com, we would kiss right now. It's so cute.
Oh.
I just listen. Another thing about Degrassi, you gotta love the cheese. The thing, there's every once in a while there's a nice slice of cheese, and I enjoy it.
My thing is out in that scene, in the thunderstorm scene. It's like they have these wind machines and this rain machine, and it's like so loud and wild, and just like, we would not be having this convo out in this awful storm by the pool. It's cute for TV, I get it. Like, you know, it's romantic, whatever. But like, if I was out there, I'd be like, okay, can we like go inside and like talk about this inside, please, by the fireplace or something?
But
like,
it could have been like the last thing like Tristan says to Myles as a tree goes down and just crushes him.
Tristan says something like, leave me to the storm. I'm standing up there, and I'm standing up there like this, and Stefan's like, oh no, just stand there, like, you don't care with your arms. I'm like, I'm freezing though. Like, I would be like, oh my gosh, why am I standing out by this pool when it's lightning? But
you did it for love.
Yeah, it was fun though. It was a fun experience to do it.
Was Myles bi the whole time, you think? Like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Is it like Myles was just kind of discovering what his sexuality was? Or is it because he just fell in love with Tristan and then Tristan helped him get there?
My whole opinion on that, just in general, is that I think that there's like, you know, there's so many different categories. It's not even a category. Like, I think there's just such a wide spectrum of things that you could be attracted to or into and like not into. Just my opinion, I think he just kind of was living life and just discovering things, maybe knew certain things in the back of his head. Maybe it took a certain type of person for him to meet to feel that way. I don't really know.
And do you think that's part of like Tristan's attraction to him? Is it like a conquest? Because, you know, like, I mean, the straight guy's pretty desirable.
I think that they kind of like what one was lacking another made up for, kind of. I don't know. And I also think Tristan has this fun side to him. Like, Myles is wild and like, you know, has his like pill thing and like he's reckless and he doesn't care and like he fights with his family and stuff. And I think Tristan, but then Tristan also has this like teacher thing, and like you can tell Tristan has this side to him that he is kind of free and wild and down for fun. Yeah. I don't know, it's
true.
I think it makes sense for Tristan, totally.
Yeah, he's like a little naive, but then at the same time he is a little rambunctious. Like, I feel like he's looking for a little trouble.
He is, totally. Like, I think if Tristan was like, I think Tristan's zodiac sign would be like Leo.
Why, what's Leo?
Like, it's like a fire sign. Like, I think the kind of like attention, like, I don't know. Like, I think his moon would be like Cancer. Like, he'd be like really emotional, but he has this like front up that he's like not.
Do you follow a lot of like signs, astrology?
Yeah, I love astrology.
I almost said astronomy.
So much fun.
What are you? Do you? Yeah. Okay. So read me then, because I don't know what any of this stuff is.
Okay. Well, I'm not like Cleo here, but like.
Read me. Okay. So like, what's just like the general sign of like, or the general characteristics of my sign?
Okay. So you're Gemini. So you're ruled by Mercury, which is a planet of communication.
That's nice.
Yes, you're an air sign like me. I'm an air sign too.
I enjoy
I'm a Libra.
communicating.
So like, yeah, exactly. It's we live in our heads. We're air. We're communicating. We're masters of relationships.
I get. Oh,
yeah.
I don't know if that's true for me.
It doesn't mean that you're. It's just Libra is a master.
There are a lot of guys that disagree.
No, listen. Libra is a master of relationships because we're the center of the zodiac. We're the scale.
Okay.
We balance everything. We're ruled by Venus, who's love, beauty, and like.
Goddess of
charm.
love.
Exactly.
So we talked a little bit. You know what? I want to ask one more gay-related question. I'm a little bit on the fence of how Tristan treats Zoe's coming out, because Tristan's like really pushing her out. How do you feel about that?
I mean, yeah, I don't like completely agree with it. I thought it was kind of rude. Like some of the lines he said. Like, yeah, I thought it was kind of like, I don't think anyone should have to do that. If it's up to that person to say what they want to say and be who they want to be.
Yeah, I feel the same. It's just like when you push somebody out of the closet and they're not ready, it's not beneficial to anybody.
Well, yeah.
Not to them and not to like the movements, because they can't really speak for themselves.
I get maybe out of if you think about high school, like we're older, if you think about like a high school mindset of like his friends, he's like, but I know you are, so like you should just say you are. So like that's probably his mindset. But
and it's also like, if you're not out, like you're against us kind of whole situation. It's just like, whoa, can you chill? Like everyone has a personal journey, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I actually there's one time this season too where Tristan says to Myles, gets mad at Myles, like because Myles says he doesn't just want to be the gay writer. And like I was in the rehearsal, I was the one being like, yeah, but like I don't get why Tristan's mad at Myles. Like Myles, if he doesn't want to be categorized as something, but like as long as he's not living a lie, but if he doesn't want to be categorized as something, that's like anyone who doesn't want to be called a him or a she or whatever, like you should be able to make your own decision on that and not have someone like mad at you for it.
This idea that I'm not going to define myself right now because I don't know.
Yeah.
That's so damn liberating. That means you can change your mind, and if you are not locked down to something, you can actually explore your sexual and gender identity. You know, I think that if, you know, young people, even in my years, had more opportunity to explore that in a fluid way, they might be different people today.
Yeah.
you know? And I think that's what's great about Myles. He's like, he was never asked to define it. And now suddenly he has to define it for like paperwork. And he's like, no.
Yeah, I think that like, honestly, the best way the world could go is if everyone just like, I know it just sounds so simple, but it really is. If everyone just like does what they want to do and is just who they want to be, and they don't have to answer to anyone, and they don't have to
check a certain box to define exactly who they are.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just, our last topic, let's talk a bit about your Tristan's coma journey. Because that's been like a huge, how did you feel when you read that for the first time? How has it been shooting this?
Well, I guessed that I'd be in a coma.
Did you guess it?
I did, and I also, that goes with the fact that I guessed we were going to be on Netflix. And I guess I was going to be on
I thought
Degrassi,
you said you weren't
so
psychic,
I think
so
I just have
now
a
you
kind
are.
Of, I know, now that I'm saying
now
this,
you
I'm
are.
like, no, I kind of knew. Yeah, I totally, like, months before they called me in, I was like, oh, Tristan's, like, either dead or, like, in a coma or something. And then they called me into the office, and they were like, do you know why you're here? And I'm like, I'm assuming Tristan's dead or in a coma.
According to my sources.
And they just kind of looked, they're like, oh yeah, he's in a coma. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Has it, like, how was it just kind of getting into the physical aspect of the character? Like, because you, like you were saying, like, you were just like leaning on, like, did you just kind of trial and error it? Like, how did you find your groove with that?
Yeah, a lot of it was kind of just going and just like, I've obviously read up on a bunch of stuff with comas and watched like interviews with people that have been in comas and what they experienced and what it was like. But you really can't make yourself feel like a coma patient, like when you're not a coma patient. Like their brain has been affected. That's inside. You can't get in there to do anything to it. So I just, as much as I could, like just at the time, I like when I first came out of the coma, I just tried to almost keep my mind blank, like very like, just tried to keep it that I wasn't having many thoughts. And I was just kind of like, you know, because I think that's how it was it's like they're trying to figure everything out, like shapes and things on the wall and like.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just their brain, you have to like.
It's the idea, it's like they see something and they kind of recognize it, but they can't contextualize it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very impressive, very
well,
cool.
and people were like joking, they're like, oh, like you don't have any lines to memorize, all that stuff. It's like, yeah, but it is like laying here. I know it sounds so dramatic.
No, but you have to be like mentally so
day,
present in a way.
You do. It's almost more conscious of your body than when you're just sitting there like saying a line. You're more like, I have to be still. I'm in a coma. I'm not responding. Like my breathing is low. My heart rate is low. Like,
so fascinating.
Yeah.
So Tristan's wrap up. He lets Myles go. When you love something, you let it go.
Set it free. If it
set
loves
it free.
you, it'll
Thank you.
fly back.
Oh, there's a part 2 to that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, you just thought it was like...
Let it go, and then you never see it again.
Yeah.
Yours is more hopeful.
Yeah, there's some hope to mine.
Yeah. Do you think Tristan is going to fly, or Myles is going to fly back to Tristan?
For sure. I think you kind of see at the end, it's like, how could you not?
Yeah. But what happens if, like, when Myles is in Europe, he, like, gets laid by some, like, hot French girl? Would Tristan be angry?
If you let something set it free, and if it doesn't come back, it wasn't meant to be.
You're a poet, and you didn't even know it. I'm going to call you when I need advice. Okay, last thing. We have a very fun game. We call it Prom, Boiler, and Slap.
Like put them in a boiler? Or...
So prom is who you want to take to prom, which is kind of like who you'd like to live
like,
with.
So
like,
marry.
or marry, exactly. Boiler is who you want to hook up with in the boiler room. Okay. Slap is just who you just want to, like, bitch slap.
Okay.
Like,
who are we playing this with?
Well, do I have categories?
People in this
room? Do I have
room?
people? That would be fun.
That's awkward.
Myles, Mr. Yates, VJ. Prom, boiler, slap.
Okay, well, prom, Myles. Wait, so this is purely character, not person,
Yeah,
right?
this is purely character, but as yourself.
As myself, oh.
Yeah, like as Lyle looking at these characters if you're watching the show and being like, ugh.
Okay, well, I guess slap Mr. Yates and then boiler VJ, because...
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, new category. Prom, boiler, slap. Maya, Zoe, Tori.
Prom, Tori.
That's nice.
Boiler, Maya, slap, Zoe.
Well done. Yeah.
I feel like so awful that I have to say slap anybody at the end of all of this.
It could be worse. It could be died in the bus crash. At least it's just a slap.
Well, either way, like, to me, kill, slap, it's just like...
It's my favorite one. Do you have one for me? It can be anywhere throughout the years.
Okay.
Prom, boiler, slap.
Prom, boiler, slap. Okay. Whoever played, characters.
The characters.
So, I want to remember.
Because I've never wanted to slap any actor part of this franchise.
Sean.
I know. Sean.
Jimmy. Sean, Jimmy, Cam.
Cam?
You said any.
That's so hard. Oh, well, that's very good. You've just made this game fun.
Okay.
I would have to. Okay, I just need Sean in the boiler room. I need it.
Okay.
So that's chosen. Okay. I'd take Cam to prom. Maybe it would change his destiny.
Okay.
If he had the love of me.
Yeah.
To take care of him.
Yeah, you saved him.
Yeah, I did. And I'd slap Jimmy. I mean, just get over it.
Just
already.
leave.
It happens.
So,
you know? Like, what are you going to do? Thank you for letting me think about that.
Yeah,
It helped me learn more about myself.
Of course.
I think
that's
that's
what I'm
lovely.
here for.
All right, so you have just one more day of shooting left then.
Yeah, tomorrow one scene. Or today I have one scene, tomorrow I have one scene, and then it's done forever.
And it's done forever.
Like we learned today, if you love something, set it free. So if Degrassi loves me, they're going to set me free.
And if you love them,
then I'll
come back.
But if it wasn't meant to be, then I will flee.
Then you will flee.
I'm just on it today.
All right, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Good luck on your final scene. I'll be there. I'll probably cry.
Thank you.
But I cry about a lot of things these days.
I'll keep it together for you.
Thank you. It's a Gemini thing. Please.
It's a Libra thing. I'm there for you.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
That's nice.
I support you.
I don't know what is happening to this department, but Eric, I would like to thank you for being here with us. We're out of control. I have to say that Myles' entrance into the hit teen drama Degrassi was truly my favorite.
Yeah, it was pretty intense looking back on it.
Like he was just chilling, smoking a J.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what the show needed, to tell you the truth.
Probably.
Like it needed a bit of rock and roll. Like it needed like it did, like a kid being like, I have no F's to give. I'm just smoking some pot.
There's none of that anymore. For me anyway. I'm clean cut now.
Well, now Myles has a drug problem, so we don't want him to relapse. When you read this part, were you like, I really want to play this? Or was it like, we'll see where it goes?
When I read for this part, I auditioned for a different character before this one.
Which one?
It was, I guess it was...
Chewie?
It was, but it was like a prototype version. Like it was, his name was Benji.
Benji.
And so, like, I was auditioning for Benji all the way, and then they're like, oh, he just got, like, cut. Can you read for Myles?
Well, I feel like, I mean, you don't strike me, not to say that you can't play nerdy, but now I'm so used to seeing you play Myles that I can't, like, see you as, like, nerdy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I guess. I was, like, I felt, like, more natural at first playing.
Nerdy?
Yeah, Benji than Myles. Benji.
I mean, here's the thing. He's a rich kid.
Yeah.
Rich kid comes, chilling on a fire escape, smoking a J. Obviously, all the girls are going to want him, which is exactly what happens. Like, the first thing that happens is, like, Myles is essentially in a love triangle, isn't he? Between, like, Zoe and Maya.
Yeah, pretty much. And there's, like, right at the beginning, there's also that thing where Tristan thinks he's, like, into him, and then, like, I guess I kind of lead him on for fun, and then say I'm not. Just pretty mean.
Straight boys do.
Yeah. But, yeah, then it was, like, Zoe was more of a, like, fun fling.
Zoe was nuts.
Yeah, she
wild.
Yeah. But I guess, like, so was he at the, like, he's really mellowed out now compared to what he was, like.
It's like Myles was like kind of using his sexuality as like a bit of like currency, like a weapon, you know, like he could kind of play anybody, guy and girl.
Yeah.
But then when it actually became apparent that he likes both guys and girls, I didn't see that coming. I thought he was just, you know, being suavemente.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think probably even for him, it was like at the very beginning, like he just wasn't sure. Like I think that he thought, okay, I'm just having fun with this, and like even if he felt some sort of like heat, That's weird. Maybe a
Heat.
weird word. But like, you know what I mean? Like some sort of excitement.
Yeah.
Like he probably just wrote it down as being, like a result of like, okay, I'm messing with this guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He was, especially then, like impulsive enough that if he felt something or something for somebody, he would pursue it regardless of. And I think also like at the beginning of it, he was partly knew it would like piss off his dad. And so
screw up his campaign.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like it starts as like him just playing this game, and then he actually falls for Tristan.
I just always have thought of him as just falling in love with people and being like taken by people rather than I never really
Thought of like the mechanics of the.
Yeah, and I don't think he did either. Like I think, like I said, it didn't matter to him as long as he was feeling good about who he was with and what he was doing, and he was having fun or if there's some connection. I don't think that it would really like phase him too much about labels or anything. I think that he maybe doesn't really see the point in it if you can just sort of live. There's not really there's no need to write everything down.
I feel like Myles is like. I feel like Myles is so new age in some ways, you know what I mean? Like he's just like a trailblazer in the sense that like he has this kind of independent confidence to him. He's sexually free. But then he like turns around and becomes like a full-blown addict. Like I love this like kind of dichotomy where he has so many, like he just seems like he's got all his stuff in order in so many ways, and then on the other side of things it's like he's just one thread away from like falling apart.
We're not sure of ourselves entirely, and so like to pretend that you're completely sure of yourself in every way is,
it's like a sign that you're not.
Yeah, and it's also like makes the times when you're not sure of yourself like a lot scarier.
Oh yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because Myles reminds me a lot of Mr. Hollingsworth because they're both kind of shooters.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They both got like their fancy cars and their nice like clothes. You know, they're both ladies' men.
Yeah.
I feel like they have all these like similarities, which is probably why like Myles hates his dad so much.
Yeah, it'd be like seeing something you hate in yourself and then like being angry at that and then therefore angry at whoever made you like that, and so it's like, I don't know, destroying it is almost like your way of saying this isn't me, or like this isn't what I am. Like Myles is manipulative to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And like I'm sure he gets that from his father. And you can see like in some scenes like even just like manipulating Winston or like people that he's romantically attracted to, and I don't know, like I feel like even something is like that can be used like maliciously, like manipulation, he can also use it in like smart ways to convince people to help people, I think. And like every now and then like he'll just speak a lot of truth.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can twist what people are thinking in a way that will help them like see it in a positive light. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it is. That's what he tries to do with Hunter. Like, first off, I got a full disclosure. I love Myles and Hunter together so much. And like there's that scene in the end of season 1 where he's on the phone and he's just like, yo, I love you. But that was like a really interesting moment because it's like, do you think Myles and Hunter ever said that to each other?
Yeah.
You know? Like it was so like, oh.
Yeah, apart from when they were young and their parents probably made them say it a few times. I mean, that was, and if they had said it before, that was probably the most sincere version of it. Even if like they've communicated that in different ways, it's like that phone call or what he said then was definitely the most like sincere and important one.
So do you feel like Myles feels responsible for both his siblings because his parents suck?
During like the whole divorce and all the abuse stuff, like I think he felt like a father figure, but yeah, and his mom was always like sort of like somewhere else.
I think there was one line once where she was just like, "Oh yeah, you were." Like Myles is just like overcoming his drug addiction and he's doing pretty okay. And he goes, "Hey mom, can I talk to you for a second?" She was just like, "Does it have to be right now?" Yes, your kid who's in recovery wants to talk to you, and it's just like, gotta go to yoga.
Yeah, yeah. He's always been like protective of Frankie and stuff. And in season 15, you really see him like trying his best to handle Hunter alone.
Yeah, alone. It's so true.
Yeah, and then he realizes that that's just like almost equally as bad as not doing anything. And just like not helping his brother at all, because like by handling it alone, like or by keeping the secret, I guess, it's just perpetuating the problem. And that when he told his mom, it was like one of the first times that she actually took a very
serious stance.
Yeah, like a very good.
And then like, we're gonna do something about this. I think what Myles did for Tristan in a coma is like sensational. Like most people wouldn't do that. And that's why when everyone was like, I always felt bad for Myles. I was like, why are you ripping on yourself for like hooking up with Lola? Like, the kid's in a coma. And you're there in a hospital every day. He might not wake up. And Lola's cute. Like,
I mean, it was like
life is tough, you know?
It was done in a way that was like, you could see it from either side. Because like when he didn't hook up with her, like it was at the point where it's like, okay, he's not going to wake up.
But here's the thing with Degrassi characters. Degrassi characters are so holier than thou when they're judging each other. And then they go off and do the stupidest thing in the entire world.
Yeah.
So it's like, chill. Everyone's trying to figure their thing out.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't have connected if it wasn't for the situation they were both in.
Tristan, yeah.
So I don't know if like, even if they had met before Tristan, like him and Tristan dated, I don't know if they still would have had the same connection. I mean, ultimately, I think they had the potential to, and I think that, like the way they cared for each other wasn't like just something to be dismissed, and I think that they could have probably loved each other, not given different circumstances, but maybe the only reason that they were able to connect at first was because they both needed somebody. It was good because it showed like you can sort of sympathize for both Tristan and Myles. I think it was just like human enough that like
sure, and I think Tristan shows that because he understands in the end.
Yeah, which was like I was really impressed with that. Like that whole conversation was like another mature, like an example of like how a high school relationship could have been like mature and like it wasn't just like very
you cheated on me.
Well,
here's what I kept thinking about Tristan. I said if I was in Tristan's shoes and I woke up and my boyfriend had hooked up with somebody, I'd been like, correct me if I'm wrong, the bigger thing to be focused on is I woke up. Like I'm okay.
Yeah.
So the rest is manageable. Do they are they end game with each other? Like, do they get together? Yes, ish. No. Tristan says, no, he was free, doesn't he?
At the
when
very
you love
end.
it, set it free.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I don't want you to be my caregiver, and I totally get that. It's like nothing is
You can't.
Nothing can be less hot than your boyfriend at 17 years old being your caregiver. You know, it's not like you're 80 and you spent your life together.
Yeah, it's an easy thing to like talk about, like, oh, if something ever happened to you, like I'd stay by your side forever, and like, but it's another one of those things where like you don't know what it's like until you're there. It's at a point where like Tristan's not expecting him to, and there's no obligation for him to stay. But even if he wants to, like, should he? Like, it's just a very like heavy thing, especially when you're this young.
That person will always look at you as what your life was pre-injury.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like Tristan. Like I feel like Myles is also like looking at Tristan, like, come on, we'll go to Europe and everything's gonna be perfect. And he's just like, I'm not this person anymore.
And it's sort of scary for, like, I could imagine for Myles to be like I'm with a different person now. Like to a certain extent, like the part of him is gone that won't ever be back.
Yeah. And also with brain injuries, you know, it's very hard.
Yeah.
People change so much. It's hard for themselves. It's hard for the people around them.
Yeah.
I think Myles was very patient and a true delight.
With most of the characters, everything's left very open-ended, so you can assume that there's not like a finite end to like, this is what's happening. It's, you know, you can assume that maybe like years later he'll come back and maybe Tristan and him will try it again, or like when they've both grown up a little bit. Because they never really said goodbye. You know, it's not a definite like, and it's certainly not I'll never see you again. Like they'll be there for each other, I think, regardless.
For your 6 seasons, like, is there a standout Degrassi scene that you did where you're like, boom, Diana, I killed that, or like that was so hard for me to get my head around, or?
Like looking back, I really enjoyed setting fire to the school.
Sick.
That was like a really fun, and it was because they built like a separate hallway, and it was actually like you burned it down, and that was really exciting to have like one take.
There's this one time I'll never forget where Marco, my character's student council president, so he like throws like some big Bollywood dance party to like help the community, like to like for the school community, and like we're having a big dance and it's Bollywood themed, and his curtains catch on fire. And I remember they had like firemen come and coach us like where these curtains are going to catch on fire, and then as soon as don't panic, you're just going to exit frame and then we're going to come in. And so like I'm just like, okay, cool. Literally the moment comes where I see the curtains catch on fire right in front of me. I aborted all missions and get a flying F what anybody says, and I just bolted right out of frame, right out of the hole. So they're like, Adamo. So if you watch it to this, because we were going to do it once, if you watch it to this day, there's literally just a shot of me, and then they have to just cut to anybody else. I was like, screw this, man. This is not a TV show anymore. This be real. This is a real fire. In terms of the final still of where Myles is, like, I just like it's fun and sweet. But I think, like, as you were saying at the very beginning of the interview, it's like he's come so far in these last years that, like, I think where he ended up was like a really positive progression.
Yeah, absolutely. His journey ended up being very positive. Like he matured greatly, and I think especially like even having to cope with Tristan, like somebody he loves, like being in a coma is not like an easy thing for anybody, let alone a teenager.
Yeah.
And so he grew up very quickly, and everything else he went through, he didn't succumb to, with the help of his friends and family, obviously. Like without them, I'm sure things would end up very differently.
Well,
you want to play the game?
We're gonna play a game before you depart.
Okay.
And that game is a fun game. It's a game created by the staff here. What we were inspired by was the game Marry F Kill.
Okay.
But now it's prom boiler slap. So who would you take to prom?
Who would you boil alive?
Fair assumption. Who would you hook up with in the boiler room?
Okay.
And who would you like teen movie slap? Just because they really get under your skin. You know what I mean? That's a fun one.
Is this me?
Yeah, as you, like these characters. And the characters, not the people. But like you, if you were just like a fan watching the show. Maya, Esme, and Tristan.
I guess I'd slap Esme.
Fair.
I'd take Tristan to prom, and then I'd hook up with Maya.
That's nice. That's a good mix. I think I'm similar. Okay, prom boiler slap. Zig, Lola, Winston. I feel like I know what this is gonna be. It's too easy.
Yeah, I'd take Winston to prom. I'd hook up with Zig, and then I'd slap Lola.
Twist. It's the cut off arms, isn't it?
It is. I love them.
I understand that.
Claire, Mr. Simpson, Jonah.
Jonah. Claire, Mr. Simpson, and Jonah.
Yeah.
Claire, Mr. Simpson, and Jonah. I don't know why I did that. I would live with Claire.
You live with Claire?
I think. Or no, sorry. I would go to take Claire to the prom.
Okay.
Would I? Yeah, I'd take Claire to the prom. I feel like she'd be on time. It'd be very organized, and we'd have like a nice time.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like she's really cool. I'd like to know what she's doing in university right now. And you know, she's still with Eli. Like, there's a lot to catch up on that I'm actually personally interested in. So I'd take Claire to prom. Boiler room. Who was the other two? Mr. Simpson and Jonah. Oh God, I would 100% take Snake to the boiler room, and I'd slap Jonah.
All right.
Sorry, Jonah. But sad to not have seen Benji in the show, but glad Myles came to be.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us on our bread couch on this very early Monday morning. You were a delight. Hey, take my Degrassi pen. Okay, you got to remind me what we're asking, Don. Oh my God, I called you already the wrong
Dante?
thing. Dante.
I'm Dante?
I know your name, I swear. So today we're talking about Winston Chew.
Yeah.
Also known as Chewy. Is that true?
Yes, his nickname is Chewy.
But isn't Chewbacca's nickname Chewy?
Yeah, I think that's like kind of the joke. I think like it's mostly because his last name is Chew.
Yeah.
And Myles is like Chewy,
Chew.
you know? Like it's cute like that, but I think there's also some reference to Star Wars in there.
In the show, there's been so many nerds.
Yeah.
And I'm always a fan of the nerd. I like the nerds. Like
Me
I
too.
really liked JT back in my years and Toby. And then there was what was his name? His real name was Spencer. What's his real name? Wesley. Did I enjoy Wesley? Yes.
I also liked Connor, AJ.
Connor.
Yeah.
Connor was very good too.
He's a really great character.
Very great character.
Yeah, Winston definitely falls within the realm of like nerdy guy into all the like dorky stuff, but at the same time he's very like confident with who he is. So in that way, like I don't think Winston ever had like in his storylines issues with like self-esteem because I felt like someone was like bullying me for who I am. It was always just issues with like how I feel as a person, like in a relationship with another person.
Sorry, there's just a dark girl. She scared me.
She's just there.
Like literally, I thought she was watching us. Okay. Sorry to interrupt you. The gardener's gone. We are now safe.
It's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel, but also like he's a bit of like he's a cool nerd.
He's a cool nerd.
Yeah.
Very sarcastic a
Yeah.
lot of times, yeah.
Knows who he is, I agree. Because he also gives good advice to everybody.
He does. He's one of those guys.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, I think there's some like things in common between your character and my character back in the day. Like they're always like these words of wisdom, nice guys.
Yeah, totally. I just wish he did something a little more adventurous. I felt like he always stayed within his realm of possibility.
This is true.
Yeah.
Do you think those adventures will be happening in Banting, his post-secondary school?
Definitely, I think so. University, at least for me, was a time where a lot of adventures happened.
Are you in university right now?
I did 2 years. I'm taking a year off.
Yeah, university is the time where like you can actually have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, exactly. Discover who you are a little more.
Truth. Do people recognize you at school? Like when you go out in the world?
When I go out in the world, when I venture off outside
when you leave the Degrassi set and you're like, ooh, the real world where like things cost money.
When I go off my humble abode, yeah, sometimes. Sometimes people will be like, Chewy, or like, Winston.
No, great,
yeah,
great.
I'll be like, what's up? Or sometimes people will just like know me for like who I am, like Andre, and they'll be like, hey, what's going on? But it only happens.
They recognize you as Andre.
Yeah.
It's your friend. Hey, you recognize me?
No, not someone that I know personally. Hey, Mom. It only happened after I got on the TV show, too. Like, my family never recognized me in public.
That's too good.
Until after the show.
After the TV show. They couldn't pick you out of the crowd.
No, yeah, exactly. Who are you?
can't.
Oh, okay, I see.
Too good. Here's my question.
Okay.
Your friends are trouble.
Yeah.
In the show.
For sure.
And you know, Chewy sticks around. But then Chewy also kind of we always get treated great. Does he get, no.
Not really.
No.
That's the thing. It's like, playing Winston is almost like playing like the hopeless romantic. The guy who gets like broken down in every situation. Sorry, this has been like coming in from a long time.
Little Chewy.
No, but I think it takes a really, like if we're going really subtextual with this, I think it takes a really strong person to be able to stay with friends that you know will, you know, at some point in your life hurt you.
Yeah.
But to be able to say like, I am the bigger person and I know that these connections I made are much more than just like certain moments of pain.
Yeah.
And be able to say, I want to stick throughout this for everything that it is, not just the bad parts. I think that's one of Winston's best qualities.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very selfless.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to help everybody. And I think that comes out in season 3 or 4. I don't know what it is. But no, what am I talking about? Season 1 of Next Class when Myles is like a drug addict.
Yeah.
And treating him like crap. And he goes to his mom being like, you got to help this kid. This kid's going off the deep end.
And in some ways, I remember like talking about this with the other cast members. And like some people were torn because it was like, you know, like I can see why people wouldn't want him to do that. Because it's kind of like, oh, you're like breaking the bro code. Did
he break the bro code?
In some ways, yeah, because you don't tell like your bro's parents that your bro is on some serious messed up medication. But if you really like think like something's happening, then of course you got to tell them, right? So I think he did the right decision there for sure.
For sure. And I think also that Winston is smart enough to know when he's like, that he was losing Myles to like Esme was just, like he knew that like I have no positive influence on him anymore. Like I can't control him. Let's talk about Chewy's ladies.
Oh, there has been some ladies.
So there's been Frankie
Hollingsworth.
Then there's been Zoe, which we'll get to, which is like a half kind of lady in a way for you. And then there is Goldie. Twist.
Three very different characters.
Truth. Too. So Frankie, let's start with the spoiled little rich girl.
Dating your best friend's sister.
That's what happened.
I think the best thing to do is just like proceed with caution, you know? Like do everything step by step.
Yeah, but do you tell them right at the beginning, or do you say, let me see if this is serious? Like, do you say, yo, bro, because of the bro code, I'm going to tell you, I got the hots for your sis.
I mean, it can go either way, because it could be like, yo, bro, I'm going to be up front, bro, I'm like dating your little sis, bro. Is that cool, bro? Or like
and he's just like, whoa, bro.
And then he's just like, you're going to fool around my little sister, bro? Not cool, bro.
It's not cool.
Still love you, bro. Or it could be like, you know have a thing with her and like it's been a little while and it's like I've like been seeing this like your sister for a long time and I like really care about her, bro. Can I have your blessing, bro?
But what if he's just like, what are you talking about, bro? You've been seeing my little sister
exactly. Then he
for
can
what,
just get really
a
mad.
year and not tell me? But I thought we were bros.
Yeah, but you know at the end of the day I think it's like it's Frankie's choice.
True.
She's old enough to make her own decisions.
That's so true. We totally forgot about Frankie.
You always remember your first the most. That's the thing. My first on-screen kiss was with Sarah Ways Glass, and it was when I was like so young. That was like 4 years ago. It was so fun working with Sarah, just in general. Like Sarah's just such an awesome person to work with.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
It was so great. I think Winston and Frankie were like, out of all three relationships, that was like the most serious because it lasted for like the longest time. There was so many different levels to that relationship that worked out. There was the meeting, the fashion show event with Frankie.
Oh, true.
Then there was the whole musical thing was basically like...
Was that Captain Who?
Yeah, metaphorical to like Winston's real life.
I think Frankie and she... What's their ship?
Frankston.
Frankston?
Frankston.
Truth. I liked Frankston. I thought Frankie was best with Winston.
I think so too.
I think she was the best version of herself. Because then she went to Jonah and she lost it.
I messed up. Yeah.
No, you were a great boyfriend.
Oh, thank you.
You were very good.
Winston was a good boyfriend.
Yeah. Let's move on to some Zoe.
Oh,
so what was
what
that?
A mess.
Zinston?
What Zinston
or Wowie? Wowie.
So yeah, if you put Winston's first name in front of all the ships, they're so weird. Wanky. Wowie, Goldie. That was a mess.
That was a mess. But you know what? A beautiful mess. Because what came from that, listen, this is a poetic situation. It requires some poetry. Because what came from that is like you single-handedly, Chewy, helped Zoe come to terms with her lesbian self.
True. True, that did happen.
That's a good thing to have done. You're a good person. But like again, you had to sacrifice. You then like stayed in the friend zone because like I was reading that and I was just like, oh my god, I'm so happy for Zoe. But at the same time, again, Winston screwed over again. Yeah. So Winston actually liked her.
I think like a lot of fans had that reaction too when I got like the tweets about it and everything like that. But at the same time, it's kind of like, yeah, it's so sucky because, you know, you put all your feelings into this person and you had no idea. Like, honestly, I don't think Winston had any idea. No. Zoe's, like, a great actress, just like Anna Golia. So she's able to, like, hide a lot of things, like the burn stuff. Yeah. But Winston caught on to that. But, like, I mean, like, trying to catch on to two of the things that she's hiding, that's just too much. So, like, I think he really had feelings for her and he really thought this could go somewhere. But when it didn't, I think Winston also like had like the best response. He was like, you know what? Like I can understand totally like how hard this must be for you. And I know it's like super sucky for me because like I really had feelings for you, but I'm just gonna support you either way.
Freaking Winston's the best.
I think he is the best.
Goldie.
Very, very innocent relationship.
Goldie.
Goldie.
Or Goldton.
Goldton?
Ginston.
Ooh.
That sounds like a fungus.
Yeah.
Goldie was lovely. Nice.
Such a very cutesy way.
And I feel like that relationship was sweet because it kind of happened by accident. You know when people say, it's going to happen when you least expect it?
Yeah.
I think that was true in that relationship.
Very, like, kind of a relationship that almost, like, kind of got stomped on due to bad circumstances, though.
Yeah. Goldie and Winston are walking at nighttime. And there was just that terrorist attack in Belgium in the news. And suddenly those two characters are confronted by essentially a series of young bigoted punks.
Yeah. Gang of hooligans.
And like Winston is in this terrifying position where it's like, does he try to fight for her? Because obviously she doesn't want her hijab ripped off. Or does he tell her, yo, take it off because these guys are going to like hurt us? And I thought that was an interesting position to be in.
Honestly, yeah, I think so too. I think a lot of people are going to be like torn on it too. There's no situation in which she should ever have to take her hijab off. I think he was like scared, but he was also thinking like, you know, I think she could get hurt too, so it might be safer for us to leave because, well, taking the hijab off is like a pride and like definitely like something she shouldn't have to do. It is the safer route.
And also like, look at us. Like, look at us. Like, we're not the ones that are going to take on 3 dudes. Ditto.
I am a lover.
I'm a runner.
If some mans are trying to start confrontations with me, I will just offer them love.
You do really well at a gay club. Yeah, so Goldie and Winston have a little bit of a falling out, as we were discussing. Goldie also is a very overwhelmed. I mean, first you send a penis pic, and then the whole, like, a hijab attack. Goldie's just returning back to her where she got scared.
She went for, like, a roller coaster ride.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, what's with the penis pic?
Honestly, kind of weird.
All right, I'm just, like, relieved to hear that you were as surprised about the penis surprise photo.
I was, yeah.
Because I just sometimes I feel like, I mean, I'm not, like, super old, but sometimes I feel like I'm a bit out of touch. And when I saw that, I was like, people, what? I mean, don't get me wrong. When I was a kid growing up, we couldn't do that because I had film, like camera film. I'd have to get it developed.
Like a Polaroid?
And then I got to mail the photo to my buddy with a stamp. Okay, now we went way off course. Okay.
I impressed her because, like, I threw a huge prom by myself.
That's so nice.
And then I apologized, and it ended up wrapping up pretty nicely. I feel like there could have been more, like, contextual layers to it, but it was really a cute way to wrap it up.
And then you guys accidentally find out you're going to the same school.
Uh-oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a nice little planting of a seed, you know?
Mm-hmm. What is this?
There's a massive white jube.
I don't want it.
That's fair. What is one standout moment that you've had, you know, with your pals here on the show?
The kiss scene that me and Sarah had in the pool is something that we always talk about.
Really?
We like whenever we hear the song, "You Are Out of My League," because that song played on the thing, we always just message each other. She literally sent me a video yesterday of us after our first take when we kissed.
She was talking about it today.
Yeah. We try to high five and she fist bumps me and I hit her like that and we're like, oh, we're so awkward, but it's like so cute.
Was it your guys' first kiss in real life? You can say so.
In real life?
Yeah.
No.
You were like 14 when you did that.
I was
scene.
like in grade 11 when I did that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, because I think my first kiss with was with Stacey Farber because I was 15 in real life when I was on the show. Unforgettable, really.
How do you feel about that though?
That it was on TV?
Like your first kiss was like televised, yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. I feel weird that almost like many things were televised. Best behind the scenes moment.
BTS, best behind the scenes. Ah, okay, I see the acronym and how it fits. Okay, moving in with Aaron and Spencer.
That's cool.
That's an awesome one.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I love that.
Like, already living with these guys is just crazy. So many crazy stories.
How is it living with those boys? Are they messy? I hear you like to sleep a lot.
Okay, you know, Aaron...
Spencer calls you Sleepy Kim.
Spencer calls me a lot of things that end in Kim.
They say that they have to wake you up, even to get to set.
That's not true.
You guys are spinning some rumors about you.
Aaron woke me up once to get to set.
That's probably what he's referring to. All right. Prom Boiler Slap. This is a game we've been playing, and it's a version of Marry F Kill. So you're going to have 3 options. So the first category for prom boiler slap is Frankie, Zoe, and Goldie. Your girlfriends.
I would. Never got to kiss Soma, so I'd boiler Goldie.
So you'd hook up with Goldie in the boiler room.
Prom.
Miss Goose.
Sarah, because she's straight. I'm straight. And then I'd probably slap Zoe, because who wouldn't want to slap Zoe?
Poor Zoe.
She's slapping everyone else.
True, she deserves a couple payback slaps.
She needs a little slaps.
Not wrong. Okay, do you have one for me? It could be any time in the Degrassi universe. Like era, time, 35 years.
Okay. Monroe.
Monroe.
Chambers. So he played Eli.
Okay, yeah, so that would be the characters. Eli,
Goldsworthy.
Goldsworthy, thank you. Eli, Goldsworthy.
Boz.
No idea what his last name is.
Nahir.
Nahir.
And what was Drake's character?
Jimmy Brooks.
What?
Jimmy Brooks.
Jimmy Brooks.
All right. Eli, Boz, and Jimmy. Okay. I would 100% take Eli to the boiler room because Eli is. Love me some Eli. I would. Do I take Jimmy to prom? Okay, fine. I take Jimmy to prom. I take Eli to the boiler room, and I'd have to slap Boz. I'm sorry. I really do love Amir, but I have to slap Boz just because he's not giving me anything I need right now. And what I need is Jimmy Brooks at prom, Eli Goldsworthy in the boiler room, and
I love Boz's character.
he is very funny.
I know Eric Osborne like so well, but I also know Myles Hollingsworth so well. I know Anna Goya so well, but I also know Zoe Rivas so well.
Yeah, it's weird.
I know Sarah so well, but Sarah
Yeah.
and Frankie are like kind of the same in some points.
All right, sick. Any final words? This is the end. No, you still have a week of shooting.
It was great for what it was. Thank you for having me here.
Thanks for being on our red couch.
I'm gonna take these.
What a delight. You can have them.
Nice.
Consider them your wrap gift.
Okay, now I'm rolling on the
Yeah. Oh, I'm not rolling on the side, but now I am.
Goldie.
It's nice to have you here. Number one, how many times have you auditioned for the hit teen series Degrassi?
I think I've lost count of how many times I've auditioned for this show. And at one point, but the thing is, I would make it down to the final level each time. And I'd come to the studio and I'd audition for all the directors and everybody. And you get so excited. And at the time I was much younger. I was like 14, 15 when I
you're
started
18
out.
now?
I'm 18 now.
So you would have auditioned for like season 13
Yeah,
and 14?
I auditioned for a lot of different characters. And one time it was even my birthday, so everyone was like singing me happy birthday. I'm like, yeah, I got this role. And then they never called me. At one point, I just got so I was so mad that I didn't get the role that I stopped watching the show because I'm like, that's it. Like,
That's
I'm
hilarious.
sticking it to them. That's it. I'm done.
The show sucks.
But like, I love the show. Like, I've been watching it since I was 12, right? So like, this was like, I was so upset by it. I stopped watching the show for like a whole season. And then I got the audition for Goldie and I'm like,
This one's
okay,
mine.
you know what?
This one's mine.
They are not saying no to
mine.
me.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I was like, I rewatched all of the seasons. I like did so much research for Goldie. I was like,
And when you got it, what was your response?
um,
Boom diada. That would have been mine.
no, I'm a crier.
You cried?
Yeah, I cried.
So, Goldie, tell me a bit about Goldie. That's what I want to know.
Goldie, from the start, she was just, she came in grade 11 to Degrassi, and she was a very strong activist. And at first, she started the feminist club. And after that started to progress, she fought for other things, for instance, her religion, which happens in the 3rd and 4th season. And she's just always looking for things to stand up for and causes to fight for.
Yeah, she's like the very eager
Very.
student council
Oh, yeah.
president kind of character,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. But she lost both times for presidency.
Unjustly.
Yeah, I felt really bad for her.
I do love that. I do love that scene in season 1 of Degrassi Next Class where like there's like Zoe and Tristan all like, ugh, boys are so difficult.
Yes.
Boys are really hard.
And then I just
you're
come
just
in
like,
with sass.
yeah, you're like, dude, this was, what did you call it, a sham of an election? Or
I said, mockery.
Yeah,
You know?
this mockery.
Yeah.
And I was like, respect. That's what this has become.
Yeah.
A mockery. It was a popularity test, right?
Mm-hmm.
That really was a popularity thing.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
admired her for like calling those things out because she's not very into high school drama, which is kind of refreshing for a character at Degrassi. I mean, she does get caught up in drama, but she doesn't go looking for it. She doesn't always try to have a sob story. She's very like upbeat, and she likes to focus on school and bigger matters.
Well, I was gonna say, like, you look at somebody like Goldie. I mean, as an adult, I look at Goldie and be like, Goldie's rad, and I want to be friends with her.
But as a kid,
you don't really want to be friends with Goldie, do you? She's a bit nerdy.
She didn't, for the whole first season and second season, she didn't have very many friends.
I think, you know what, but Goldie can be a bit scary, right?
Yeah.
Because she's really
Very
convicted.
Yeah.
Is that the word? No. What's the word I'm thinking?
I know what you're trying to say.
I'm trying to say that Goldie is just very committed, thank you, to her cause, you know? So, like, you don't want to mess with someone who's that committed.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, like, she doesn't really know what fun is. She finds what she does fun. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
She's like, schoolwork is fun. Like, being an activist is fun. But she doesn't know how to relax, eat pizza with friends, go out, hang out, right? So I think
she's serious.
It was nice to see that change in season 3 and see her kind of breaking out from that and testing new waters.
So, but I think a lot of that for Goldie comes with her like cultural and religious background.
Yeah, of course.
So like there's a lot of things that I think she's keeping herself from.
I think she was almost scared to explore those things as a teenager because in the script many times it alludes to the fact that her parents don't restrict her from doing things.
Yeah.
She restricts herself.
That to me is what makes like Goldie so fascinating. My favorite storyline so far is when Goldie and Rasha are talking about, well, here you have Goldie, who I assume is kind of like first generation Canadian. Like she's born in Toronto.
Yeah, she was born here,
And then you have Rasha, who comes as a refugee and is more free and liberal and adapted, than Goldie. But Goldie's doing it to herself. And then Boz says that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Where it's just like, no one makes you wear that hijab. Like, you wear it.
Yeah, very true.
So how'd you make sense of all that?
I feel like because she was born here, she tries that much harder to hold on to her roots because she doesn't want to let them go.
True.
And she probably almost feels guilty if she adapts too much or she lets go of her heritage too much. And so she just tries that much harder and it almost pushes everything else away. And it might be a little too extreme on one side trying to hold on to her culture and religion, whereas Rasha's character is coming here and she almost wants to get rid of those negative memories of her culture. Yeah, because of the war-torn country she's come from. And so they're kind of both in opposite boats.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And I see that in Goldie.
I see that
for
too.
sure. And it's a brave thing to do, right?
It is.
To really like...
I mean, she knows what she's losing, like what she's missing out on with friends and whatnot, but she chooses to make that decision anyway.
She's coming around in terms of like finding a way to balance.
Oh yeah, I definitely think so.
Her religion and her and her social life of like having a boyfriend.
I think she's realizing that there's like more than one way to be a Muslim. That there's no right or wrong way. You know what I mean? It's like as long as she keeps God in her heart, it doesn't necessarily mean that she has to fully restrict herself from every single thing. Because she is a human, she's a teenager, and as long as she respects herself, I think that's probably the most important thing. As long as she's not like compromising how she feels.
Well, she has that great scene where she tries to take off her hijab for a bit.
Yeah,
and then like runs back into the bathroom and like puts it back on. Why do you think she just couldn't do it?
I feel like she never really gave herself the chance to try and be more immersed into the Western culture. And so I think she decides to give it a shot since Rasha just takes it off on a whim, or because Rasha actually never used to wear it in Syria apparently. And so I just feel like when she took it off, she didn't really feel like herself anymore. She didn't feel like free or liberated in any way, which she thought that she would.
Interesting, yeah.
But she felt more free and liberated wearing it.
It's kind of interesting that like the hijab like plays like this. I know it's this ongoing symbol.
Yeah, it's almost like its own character.
Yeah. And of course that comes up in season 4.
It comes up a lot, yeah.
And that's a really tough scene. Have you shot that scene yet?
No, it's next Monday.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that scene coming up.
A group of older boys who probably have been drinking or whatever, and they target Goldie because of her hijab and because of the terrorist attack. And so she kind of got caught up in this whirlwind, and they ended up ripping her hijab off. and they start.
Yeah, they completely like racially profile her.
They do, and so of course she's the type of person to say, no, you can't do that to me. Not the type of person to walk away from a situation.
Which is why I love Goldie.
Very true. She's very good for standing up, but also a little naive to not know when the right time to stand up is. Because she put herself in danger in a sense. Because I mean, if this happened at school in a safer environment, yeah, stand up for yourself.
And I think Winston is clocking that, right?
Yeah.
He's just like, we're gonna get beat up. Yeah. And also Winston's like a cute little Polly Pocket, right? Like he can't like defend his girl. Yeah. I found Winston's response very fascinating. I was wondering what you thought about that. You know, when he's like Winston's asking Goldie to take off the hijab. Yeah. Is that the right thing or the wrong thing? And I think Goldie contemplates that. Or
she does. She
tries
does a lot.
to figure that out at the end.
She tries to decide, did he stand up for me or did he not? Because in a way, you could see it as him standing up for her because he's trying to get her home safe. Mm-hmm. Or you could see he's not standing up for her because he's not showing respect to her religion. But which one's more important in that situation? Safety or religion? Yeah. And that's for Goldie to decide.
Well, Winston and Goldie make up.
Yep. They
go to prom together.
Yeah, they do. I think that, well, they don't go together, but they're like nonchalantly going together. Like there's no promposal, nothing official.
But Goldie's all about the unofficial, right? Because you don't want to get too close, you don't want to get tempted, but really she's got a crush.
Oh yeah.
And there's going to be some kissy advancing. I know it, you know it, everyone at home knows it.
Well, I think that's cute. I think it's really cute that they're together because they're both such motivated characters and they both they're so student council-y. They're just like two peas in a pod.
They're perfectly like nerdy and sweet and naive.
Yeah. I see that completely.
And like I feel like Winston would take great care of Goldie.
Yeah, he does. Like when he accidentally sends her a nudie pic.
Okay, that's what we got to talk about.
Yeah.
When I read that, I was like, what?
And especially the explanation, it was meant for Myles. That's what I went even more like, what do you mean for Myles?
Like, I send my friends funny gifs of, like, monkeys falling off trees. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
not your thing in fruit bowls.
Yeah. I didn't know this was a game.
I didn't either. I don't know why it is a game.
Goldie's response, completely fair, right?
Oh, yeah. She slaps the phone on the table, and she's, like, mortified. It's probably, like, the first time she's ever gotten something so provocative before.
Well, she's seen one.
Well, now she has. But his way of apologizing was super adorable.
What does he do again?
He lights up the entire student council room.
Oh, that's nice.
And we just filmed that today, actually. He lights up the entire student council room, turns off the lights, and there's a lit up basket of gingerbread cookies. That's Goldie's favorite. And so then they both just have gingerbread cookies, and he apologizes, and he says, I'm so sorry. So it's really cute.
There's some great apologies on Degrassi.
Yeah.
There's been some great apologies. Am I wrong? Like lots of fireworks and lights and animals and goats.
Really happen.
He gets a goat too.
He's very elaborate.
Very elaborate with his apologies.
Or when he asks a girl out, he's very like go big or go home. You know what I mean? Yeah, like a goat.
A goat. Jeez, I can barely get a guy to pick me up at my house. Getting a basket of gingerbread cookies, man.
I know.
So I'm saying Winston's a keeper.
He is.
All the way to Banting. What do you think about the feminist storyline? Did you like agree with Goldie? Is that your version of feminism? Do you have a different perception of feminism?
I actually never thought much about feminism until I got this role and I like looked at the script and I did a lot more research on it. And the way she handled it, I think with the whole about the washrooms, I completely agree because being a girl and going to the washroom absolutely sucks. Like,
but Zig had a good rebuttal.
Yeah, but
if
like,
it is
we gotta
equal,
take poops too. Like,
but the poops unite us. It's the peas that separate us.
What?
It's true. That's what takes the girls so long. They have to always do all this stuff for a pee.
Well, it's like, I mean, we have much more to do, and like, you know, like.
I am saying that I thought Zig had a good rebuttal, but listen, if I'm going to be honest, I have never, ever been at a concert and saw a line up to the girls' washroom and said,
the thing is,
I'm
if
jealous.
you wanted to, you didn't even have to go to the washroom. You could just go and find a bush. Like, you're fine.
A bush? You're going to have all the Degrassi community school students peeing outside? Just like Zig and Tiny in the morning. Good morning, guys.
I'm talking about it at concert, not for school.
It sounds quite difficult to be a woman.
I'm just trying to say that we deserved that extra washroom. That is my conclusion. And I think Goldie did an amazing job getting that washroom.
So what is your definition of being a feminist?
Okay. I actually agree with Goldie's definition of being a feminist because I like it's just so well worded. It's just basically equality, economic equality, job equality, opportunity equality, just equality between the sexes. And I mean, it is called feminism, and that doesn't sound like a very equal term for what they're fighting for. But if you look at it through history, women were the only ones who were really repressed the most. And so putting the label as feminism instead of like just gender equality came from that. But I think now I wouldn't exactly classify it as feminism. I feel like that's almost like making it unequal. I just say fighting for gender equality.
You can be a girl and still trying to figure out what feminism is, and you can be a boy. So, but I mean, like, not everybody is going to know until people, leaders like Goldie, are going to teach them. Right?
Well, I mean, I didn't know. Goldie taught me. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this show.
Yeah.
They teach you things that you didn't even know. Like my character back in the day taught me everything.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Like I literally didn't know anything.
Oh, that's so cute.
I was like, what's gay people? Thanks, Degrassi. Seriously. Goldie's journey, is it complete to you? Now that, you know, we're nearing the end.
I never want it to be complete, but I like that the finish has no real finish. Do you get what I mean? Like with the end of this, there's no set, like it's not defined that her and Winston are dating. It's not defined of what she's going to study. I like that it's not defined because it doesn't feel like the journey's over then, you know?
I feel like Goldie's come a long way. She went from like a kind of naive, shy Muslim girl into like a really strong, modern Muslim woman.
Yeah.
Because she was making sense of her faith in this modern context. And that included, you know, working with the QSA, that included maybe having a boyfriend, and being an outspoken feminist.
Speaking about terrorism, there's a lot of things she's done.
Yeah.
I think at first when Goldie came onto the show, she was looking at others for their standards and trying to be this perfect little like Muslim girl, but she didn't realize that she can set her own standards.
Yeah.
What she feels comfortable with is right for her. It may not be right for Rasha, it may not be right for another Muslim girl, but for her it was right. And I think that's where she learned to just accept the fact that she's not going to do everything perfect. She just has to be comfortable with the mistakes that she does make and be comfortable with the things that she does.
Yeah, no, I think Goldie has been a very exciting character in relatively a short period of time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
only 4 seasons.
Yeah.
But that's like a lot of evolving for her.
A lot of things packed into there. Bye, Goldie. I miss you,
Don't say that.
Is it gonna feel like what's the last scene, like shooting the last scene on Degrassi gonna feel like? Oh my god. I just like pierced her soul.
I told Krista I don't have emotions, but I do.
It's okay. I totally hear you, girl.
Oh my god. It's okay. I'm just gonna cry for a bit. Yeah. Oh man. I don't even want to think about it because I feel like it's just gonna be a flood of women mascara just in that scene. That's all you're gonna see. Like our faces are just gonna be streaked with mascara. That's probably what it's gonna be. But yeah, oh my god, don't look at me like that.
Is it gonna feel like you're like? It's just. I know that you stay in touch with your pals after it's like high school, but will it be the same or is it?
I think it's different because since we're all actors, we're kind of bound by our careers, which is nice. You know, maybe we'll get to work in other projects together as different characters. Like, at least that's what I hope. But, I mean, Toronto's pretty small. We'll run into each other, whether it's, like, university. But it's just, like, just thinking about being at the last read-through, the last rehearsal, like, not walking through these halls at, like, 5:30 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, you know?
Well, it becomes like, because it's like your home. It's like,
yeah.
It's really like you have to say goodbye to 2 high schools.
Yeah.
Your own, and then, you know, your.
And this was always the better one.
Yeah, it always is.
Yeah.
We have a game that we're playing with each grad, and it's called Prom Boiler Slap. So it's the same idea as marry, sleep with, kill.
Okay. Yeah.
So prom is who you will take to prom. Who would you take to prom?
Wait, like Soma or Goldie?
Soma, but characters.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we know Goldie will take it. I want to know what Soma thinks of these characters. So who would Soma take to prom? Which character would Soma take to prom? Which character would you bring to the boiler room for a little slap and tickle, maybe? and which character would you just like teen movie?
Oh, woo! Okay, here we go.
Oh, I get my paper. Okay, the 3 options for prom boiler room slap. Maya, Rasha, Zoe.
I'd hook up with Zoe's character. She's fierce.
She is good. Yeah.
I would take Rasha's character to prom because she's just so cute. But I wouldn't really want to slap Maya because I feel like she's been through a lot.
Yeah, you do.
But like at
You
the
wanna
same time,
slap Maya.
she's just a little whiny. So
Snap out of it. Hashtag not okay. Okay, next category. Tristan, Winston, Myles.
oh man, I would slap Tristan.
Yeah.
He's just so Myles.
And when you slap him, is he out of his coma? Or is he still in the coma?
And I would take Myles' character to the boiler room.
Yeah, you would.
And I'd take Winston to prom.
You know what's interesting about this?
What?
You're slapping Tristan because he won't shut up about Myles. Meanwhile, you're taking Myles to the boiler room.
Maybe I'm jealous.
Wow, twist. The plot thickens.
Okay, so much you have one for Adamo.
Yeah.
Can you name 3 people?
Yeah.
And it could be any throughout the entire Degrassi
yeah?
universe. Yeah, because
Okay.
I know all of these
Okay.
people.
All right. I'm going to name some of like the old ones too because that's what I used to watch. Okay. We got Zane.
Wow. Okay, we're going there.
We're going to have Snake.
Okay.
and Emma, just to make it weird.
Emma?
Have the dad and the daughter.
Oh my God. Jeez. This is, okay, we're doing real talk right now. Okay. This is so bizarre. I don't know where to start. I think I would take Snake to the boiler room. Let's have a good time, Stefan. Oh, bro, great, your dreams are finally coming true. I think I'd take Emma to prom and I'd slap Zayn. And I would take Emma to prom because I'd be like, yo, Emma, like, what's up? You know, like, you started this whole thing. We're friends. We've been together for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Emma be chill. Weird, I just took her dad to the boiler room, but some things are better left unsaid, you know? Did you agree with mine? What would you have done with mine?
No, I would have like
No.
definitely taken Zane to the boiler room.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh my God, like he was like the background on my iPhone for the longest time. Like, you know, when
You had a crush on Zayn?
oh my God, I didn't care he was gay. I just, so hot.
Thanks for hanging on the red couch.
Thanks.
Thanks for catching up and teaching me about Goldie and
Gold digger.
Gold Digger. And now you have about like 2 more weeks of shooting.
Yeah. Stop.
Good luck. Enjoy it. I'm going to be on set on that big scene. I'm going to come see it. See you at the grad scene.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.